I knew that was coming. Yeah, may the fourth be with you. Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. Okay. All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order, Penny, to get us started. I had to really think about that one. Okay. Any items from the public? I think Jim wants to speak to us here this morning. And again, state your name for the record.
James Keefe. Today you have on the schedule for the, I believe it's a stormwater management. I have feelings like that they need to have at least 5 members on that board. 3 members just don't make it. You got somebody self-sick or somebody they want to get together and have a party. They can't do it because of the, they can't get together because of
Sunshine laws.
sunshine laws and stuff and like that. I think we ought to at least have 5 people on that board.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda if there's no modifications or changes?
Yes, sir. You got it?
I make a motion to approve the agenda for May 4th, 2023.
I have a second, and any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Consent agenda, purchase order log. Any questions for Tracy back there? No? Okay, like Tracy, you're on it today. Internal budget revisions, we have 8, and Alan will review.
Yes, sir. As you know, as we get towards the end of the fiscal year, with only, I think, 8 weeks remaining to the year, now is the time that we will see more and more internal budget revision requests as well as requests for encumbrances. I have 8 internal budget revision requests for your council's consideration today. The first is from Department 416, which is Port Security. Chief Lang has requested that he be allowed to decrease line 341 supplies and materials by $2,500. Current unencumbered fund balance is $6,639.82, with 73.7% to date. And increase line 345 uniforms by $2,500. That account currently has $4,075.94 with 83.5% spent to date. As the council's aware, we did add 4 additional court marshals, deputy court marshals, to Department 416, and this is to cover their uniforms and outfitting. The second request is again from Chief Lang, Department 416, decrease line 220. Advertising and publication by $500. Current unencumbered fund balance is $1,000 with nothing spent to date. An increased line 223 professional services by $500. That account currently has a deficit balance of $145. The next 4 requests are from the Honorable Larry Hess, your assessor. Department 406, which is the Assessor General Fund account. Mr. Hess is requesting, first request is to decrease line 216 maintenance repair equipment by $65. Current unencumbered fund balance is $4,038.70 with 37.9% spent to date. An increased line 219 postage by $65. That account currently has a deficit balance of $49.54. The next request for Department 406 is to decrease line 216 maintenance and repair equipment. Current unencumbered fund balance is by $3,500. Current unencumbered fund balance is $4,038.70, and increase line 341 supplies and materials by $3,500. That account currently has a deficit balance of $6,430.60. This line, this budget, internal budget revision would reduce the deficit balance, although it will not completely eliminate it, and that will be done in a further request. The third request from Mr. Hess is to decrease line 105 health insurance by $3,100. That account currently has an unencumbered fund balance of $46,569.56 with 62.6% spent to date. Had that account trended the way it typically would if 100% of the employees had drawn on the insurance, it would have been at 83.33%, so there is some reserve there. And then Mr. Hess is requesting that he be allowed to increase over time by $3,100. That account currently has a deficit balance of $3,039.97. And then the final request from Mr. Hess is to clean up that deficit with supplies and materials. He's requesting that he be allowed to decrease line 568 other contributions by $4,408. That account currently has an unencumbered fund balance of $4,408.50. The last two requests are from Jack Lang, who's our facilities director for Department 420 Facilities. Mr. Lang's requesting that he be allowed to decrease line 459 capital outlay equipment by $1,000. That account currently has an unencumbered fund balance of $5,388.65, and increase line 341 supplies and materials by $1,000. That account currently has a deficit balance of $352.48. The second request appears, these two requests appear to be duplicates, but they're really not. There was a coding error with supplies and materials, and Mr. Lang actually ended up with two different supplies and materials line items. One was 002-341, and the other one was 003-341. So we're actually correcting deficit balances in both of those accounts. So once again, Mr. Lang's requesting that he be allowed to decrease line 459 capital outlay by $300, and again, that's to correct the deficit balance in one of the supplies and materials accounts.
Okay.
That's an Munis anomaly. If they put in the wrong suffix for supplies and materials, it actually will generate two separate line items. So it happens every now and then. So that just
So it'll go back in and take out that one
Correct.
for the next time, or just
Yep.
avoid it. Okay. We have a change in status, new hire recommendation received from Honorable Larry Hess, assessor, for James Coleman as an appraiser with the annual salary of $37,500, effective May the 4th, today. Change in status received from Mike Lang, Chief Court Marshal, for Jason Owens. He is receiving a salary increase for years of service. He will go from $40,517 to $41,678, effective May 15th. Change in status received from Jennifer Swisher, Emergency Management Director, for the following Cynthia Bell, is receiving a salary increase for being a certified CTO. She will go from $54,443 to $54,943. That was effective December the 20th, 2022. Chastity Lovelace is receiving a salary increase for being a certified CTO. She will go from $55,501 to $56,001, effective March the 19th, 2023. Per the clerk, removal of Brenda Cooperman from payroll, effective April the 26th, 2023. And let's see, we have the approval of the minutes for April the 20th, 2023. Councilperson Boyd was not here, so can we pull them out and get a motion to approve?
Mr. President, I move to accept the minutes from April 20th, 2023.
Have a motion. Do
Presented.
I have a motion? I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, and one abstention. Council calendar.
Before we move too far,
Uh-huh.
Mr. President, Mr. Davis, Cynthia Bell, where her estimated start date was December of 2022. Does that include back pay for her?
Well, as you know, once an employee becomes certified in different areas, Ms. Bell has become a certified training officer. and we were not made aware of it. So anytime you get a certification, you get that $500 bump. So that $500 bump will be retroactive to December 20th, 2022, and she will get the back pay for that.
Good, thank you.
And we're not aware, your office isn't aware of those changes unless they're submitted by the department, and we were not made aware of that until this week.
They had said them.
Yeah, they thought they had said it. So, but yes, that will be made retroactive back to December 20th.
Okie dokie. We are here today on Thursday the 4th, the regular county meeting. Next Thursday on the 11th, we'll have a council meeting at 9:30, 11 a.m., and 6 p.m. will be public hearings on proposed 2023 Berkeley County Public Service Water District rate increases. Let's see, it's already June. Next Monday, we have, they highlighted or crossed out? Okay, Monday the 8th, we have an LEPC at 2:30, at 5 p.m. Water District, 6 p.m. Farmland Protection, and 6 p.m. Airport Authority. Nothing on Tuesday the 9th. On the 10th, 9:30 a.m. Development Authority, 4 p.m. Telemon, and 6 p.m. Roundhouse Authority. And on Thursday, we have Fire Board on the 11th.
Yeah, it was my fault. Telemon is actually on Thursday.
On Thursday, same time?
Yeah.
4 p.m. on Thursday,
Yeah,
okay.
it wasn't Tracy's fault.
Fell on the
She
sword.
told
for-
me to say that.
You fell on the sword for
We didn't think it was.
I was gonna say, you fell on the sword for Tracy. You're a man of honor. Alrighty, have an application to operate a mobile food vehicle. That's all part of the consent agenda, is that correct?
Yes, sir, and that was all done in accordance with your policy, so we would recommend approval.
What's he on our, what, the sheriff's lot or
On the
what?
sheriff's lot, we actually have 3 different, this will be the 3rd food vendor that sets up there periodically. We have a mobile food vendor that does hot dogs. We have another mobile food vendor that does soft pretzels and flatbread pizzas. And then this would be the 3rd one.
This is not in connection with any sheriff function, they just show up when that's a good spot for
These are
them.
Day of care.
Yeah, this is for day of carry, but this would also allow them to set up
Other times too.
other times.
Do they have set schedules or they just show up when they want?
It's usually Wednesdays.
Do you know if they do good there? Or? Oh, really?
Yeah, the pretzel, particularly the pretzel and flatbreads, it's not unusual to see 15 or 20 people in line.
Really?
Our deputy court marshals like to eat. No, not you. I'm not excluding present company. But yeah, they do. I think they do well there.
Well, good for them.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't have enough lunch places like that since Jim, the hot dog guy, quit. He used to be a mainstay on the King and Queen corner.
You can get somebody out here on Thursdays when we have meetings.
Yeah,
Well, we used to have a cafeteria up there, huh?
yeah.
Well, we're hopeful that the old Gun and Cyber building, when it's ready this summer, that they'll have 4 or 5 or 6 different
Vendors.
food vendors, almost like a food court.
Mhm.
Although they can't call it that for purposes of regulation, but because of the alcohol license, but there will be other opportunities close by.
Have you stopped in there yet?
No, the Secretary of State toured it on Monday. They hope to have it open late June, early July.
Oh, really? That close?
Up here, that's
The
up
old
here
Gun and
on Dun and Cyber building, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Improvements there.
Yeah, it's gonna be,
It's going
my
full steam.
concern is parking. There's not a lot of parking in that area. I'm sure they've thought about that.
I'm sure City Hall thought about that.
I think a big part of their aim is the interwoven buildings being finished.
Yeah.
Getting the foot traffic from.
It is my understanding that the intent is to have that almost like a little business incubator for new restaurants. And then once they get a following after, a couple of years, maybe they can move into a standalone brick and mortar location. So I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, since the blue white went out.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. All right, we're to the end there. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion, to have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. And now we have the Honorable Larry Hess for correction of assessment logs by personal property tax exonerations for office error. You can start off.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I do have 5 of them here today. First 4 is for the same person, Alan Strunk. He had a custom-made motorcycle, and we got different assessments, and we had to correct those back 10 years there. The last one is just there's no change in the amounts of tax. I'm just splitting up the bill so they can divide up their bill and both paying if you got something to do. So just got those 5 today. They total up to $1,215.79.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the 5 tax exonerations due to office error? Personal tax exoneration.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, make a motion. We accept the assessor's recommendation for the office error on the personal property tax in the amount of $1,215.79.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And board of meeting reports and commission vacancies. Mr. Boyd.
I didn't have any meetings to attend,
Okay.
but the vacancies, Mr. Daniel Kelly that came in, he had the military background, he was interested in CVB.
Mhm.
He's had a meeting with the Roundhouse, and we would like to appoint him there. That's okay.
To the roundhouse?
Mhm.
Okay.
He stopped down, he has a lot of experience with sound and remember he spoke about doing the live entertainment in Winchester and things like that. We think he would be a good fit down there. He came and met with us and really liked it and was interested in being on the board. So
Okay.
we have several vacancies available down there.
All right. Have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
And any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Has the city filled its vacancies?
They did just appoint one more person. Not sure if they have them all filled because they got 1, 2. I would say they have 2, possibly 3. Because Miss Lopez stepped down. She didn't have enough time to participate. Actually, I think they have 3 now. Yeah, I think the city has 3. I think that's how many they had. So they have Mr. Bird. They have Halima. I'm not sure her last name. And then they just appointed a new person this last week. So they have 3.
All right. What's that?
Yeah, he came in and interviewed for the CVB and what was the other board he was asking about?
It can be, we can look it up. But
So that would say it's on the sheet, that's what it's gonna open. Mr. Keller said.
Landmarks.
Historical landmarks, okay, yeah. He was the one with the military background, the background in Winchester boards and all that.
Yeah, he was a percussionist.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, he was an interesting guy.
All right. Mr. Barnhart.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and like HD, I had no meetings this week, so I will pass the word along.
Okay. Mr. Coconut.
Yes, sir. The planning commission met on Monday evening, and there's not a whole lot of activity there. I know Dillon's Farm approved another section, I think of 28 additional lots, but the most discussion was held on a power station that First Energy wants to do in Ridgeway. So we asked the staff and the engineer to make sure that it was protected from their neighbors, which I think the closest one was maybe 214 feet. but just asked for screening from the substation. That was really about it.
Okay. Mr. Catley?
Just a reminder of my meeting from the week before, the senior services, we're looking for 2 board appointments, so as you're out and about and talking to people, if anyone would be interested, we would like to get those filled. So.
Okay.
Also, this week on Tuesday, we had our storm water board meeting as well as the sewer board. Business as usual, it's a sewer board, and as far as the stormwater board, obviously, we're going to approve hopefully the stormwater new ordinance today. And it was good that Zach Norris was here last week. Everyone got to meet him as our new MS4 coordinator. So, and then Anthony, we were talking with the stormwater. Is the ball in whose court? And the attorney couldn't answer that question, but as far as the next step in getting the MOU prepared.
They're supposed to get it.
Yeah, okay. We'll make them aware of that because obviously they want to apply for the new permit. That would be a co-permit with us, and they want to have the MOU in place first. So we'll see that gets done, and then we really need to get this permit thing back on schedule here to get it in place.
Okay. I had one Zoom meeting that I was unable to attend of all things, but it was at the airport authorities, a discussion about one of the charter planes is in need of some attention on one of the engines. But other than that, that's all I can tell you. I'll get more information at our next board meeting on Monday. Any other appointments or meeting or interviews?
Yeah, I wasn't aware that we had received a packet back from Paul Orsini on the Development Authority. I'd like to make that motion for that appointment.
Okay, we have a motion. Need a second?
Second. I'll second.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. And we have a Brad Close, his airport authority term expires on June the 30th. We haven't received anything back, Tracy, yet from him? Or is he, says his term expires June the 30th.
Yeah, the packet was received.
Oh, it was received,
Yes, sir. He
okay.
is eligible for reappointment.
All righty, I'll take a motion to reappoint Brad if somebody's willing to do
Yeah,
so.
I'll reappoint Brad to the airport authority.
Okay, have a motion. Do I have a,
Full term.
to have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Now, Eddie, if you do the honors of our honorary council person.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And take note what school she is from, everybody.
About time, huh?
She's from Martinsburg High School. She's a proud bulldog.
That's right.
Raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I, Sophie Gregory,
Do swear and affirm
swear and affirm
that I will uphold the Constitution
that I will uphold the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of West Virginia,
and the Constitution of the State of West Virginia,
that I will work hard
that I will work hard
to fulfill the responsibilities
to fulfill the responsibilities
of the office of honorary council member
of the office of honorary council member
to which I've been appointed.
to which I am.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Tell folks a little bit about yourself and what your future may hold for you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Sophie Gregory. I'm a junior at Martinsburg High School. I'm a member of the Social Studies National Honor Society at my school. I'm in the book club. I'm also in student council. After high school, I plan to go to college for 4 years and hopefully get my degree in psychology and another one in criminology. And then using that, I plan to be a psychologist and hopefully work for the government. Thank you.
Well, fantastic.
Fantastic. With that kind of a degree of psychology, you could probably get a full-time job with us up here. Thank you so much for coming in. And again, that was an alumni from Martinsburg High School. Thank you very much.
And you actually brag about it.
And I can brag about that, and I'm proud of that. Penny is too, so.
Oh, and anything you want to interject in the conversation, feel free to.
Please feel free to. All righty. And all righty, at 10 p.m. We're running a little bit ahead here. Matt Umstead, Director and Policy of Strategic Planning. Proclamation recognizing Founders Day at Martinsburg Heritage Fair and Festival.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good
Ladies.
morning.
We're back for the annual Founders Day celebration, 251 years old, come May 15th, Berkeley County's birthday. And with me this morning are representatives of the Daughters of the American Revolution, General Adam Stephen Memorial Association, other folks who are very critical and involved with the festivities or at a conference this morning. Julia Gates and Carolyn Shate with the DAR group as well. They were leaders in the some of the events that are being put together at the Roundhouse and along the Tuscarora Creek. The Duck Derby's back. The president's invited to enter a duck, or anyone else, if you want to enter a duck, you're welcome to. But the president's
I will do that.
he's expecting to enter a duck, and the mayor has been asked to enter a duck again this year. A little friendly competition there. So lots of fun collaboration and activities along the Tuscarora this year with the Roundhouse involved. As I said, the Adam Stephen House, at Bell Boyd House, Sumner Raymer Memorial School, a lot of different partners involved. Some of the partners that we had last year for the commemoration had some obligations this time around and weren't able to be as engaged, but we're hoping to continue to keep the heritage groups and organizations working together and collaborating together in support of the Museum Commission project and the museum project of the county, and obviously boosting heritage tourism at all the heritage sites in Berkeley County. That's what this celebration is aiming to do, is bring different groups together to celebrate and preserve and protect the heritage sites of our community, which there's an excellent heritage tourism opportunity to bring visitors. We have gotten calls from people coming from out of state this year for this event. People who grew up here are kind of coming back as like a homecoming event for them. So it's very exciting to hear about people bringing their children back for these activities. And as you can see, there's some young people here in the audience that we want to have come up with a group picture and get a picture.
Well, what sort of events?
It kicks off May 11th, next Thursday, with an opening reception for the interwoven art exhibit at the library. A fine arts photographer took pictures of the complex. We also have advertising art that was done to market the socks that were produced there. It's a really cool art exhibit at the library from 5 to 7 p.m. You're all welcome to attend that. There's a reception the library is graciously putting together as part of that collaboration, and that exhibit will be up through the end of the year in the same space that the timeline was in last year, all year. So this exhibit was sponsored by the monument companies, which you all have partnered with to redevelop the interwoven project, and also the Martinsburg Berkeley County CVB. They literally underwrote the cost of that exhibit. It's going to be a very top-notch quality exhibit. Then we also have activities with General Adam Stephen Association on Friday at the gravesite out at Martinsburg South Middle School, and then Saturday and Sunday at the Roundhouse at Adam Stephen House. Trolley rides throughout downtown over the weekend. The Duck Derby kicks off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and along at the East John Street Bridge is where that kicks off, and should be a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun last year. Got wet. I think Eddie, Councilmember Gokenhauer was there, and President Copenhaver and the mayor both ended up in the creek. So it was a good time by all, and hopefully we see lots of kids and smiling families that really coming back again this year, enjoying that event. So we're excited about a lot of we have some artillery firing and at the roundhouse, and some booms, and hopefully I've already advised the Martinsburg Police to be aware they might get some phone calls. So there'll be a little bit of booming and a little bit of noise, but hopefully all
Sound
have
like
fun.
a good time to have a few food trucks down there.
Yes,
too.
food trucks are going to be there, a moon bounce at the roundhouse. We'll have a moon bounce there, and some things that aren't necessarily heritage, but a little what I like to call shiny red ornaments that kind of bring people to come and have a good time.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and so we did prepare a proclamation.
Would you care to read
Respectfully.
that for us?
I'll try to. Proclamation recognizing Founders Day, Martinsburg Heritage Fair and Festival. Whereas on May 15th, 1772, Berkeley County was created by act of the Virginia House of Burgesses, and whereas on May 14th, 1777, a petition of sundry inhabitants of Martinsburg petitioned state lawmakers to establish the city by law. And whereas General Adam Stevens served as the first county sheriff of Berkeley County and founded the county seat of Martinsburg, which was formally established in December of 1778. And whereas the history of the founding of Martinsburg and Berkeley County is forever entwined from the pioneer settlements in the Shenandoah Valley to the arrival of the Baltimore Ohio Railroad and the blood of patriots spilled in the creation and defense of our nation. And whereas it is fitting and proper to recognize the many community organizations that come together to promote patriotism, education, and preserve our ancestry. And whereas in celebration of the founding of Berkeley County and Martinsburg, citizens we have come together to celebrate the many unique chapters of Berkeley County history on this auspicious occasion. Now therefore be it resolved that the Berkeley County Council does hereby recognize the various historic preservation and heritage groups in Martinsburg, Berkeley County for coming together to celebrate our community's rich heritage through the years as part of the Founders Day Martinsburg Heritage Fair and Festival, May 11th through 14th, 2023, adopted this 4th day of May 23. And
we'll get our attest to it and
attest to
sign it up.
your-
So can I have a motion to adopt the proclamation for Founders Day?
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Did the city of Martinsburg do a similar proclamation?
Yes, they did. They adopted a proclamation on, the date escapes me, but late last month. The mayor presented copies, a certificate to multiple copies, and it's a very nice presentation at the region.
Very good. Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Appreciate it very much.
And Matt, this is on the website?
Yes, we created a website, heritagefestwv.com. It basically bounces over, and it has a schedule of events with all the special presentations we have scheduled, the artillery firing schedule. There may be a few extra booms for that as well, but it is all on heritagefestwv.com. Thank you for reminding me of that, to promote that a little bit. And I do have rack cards. Unfortunately, I left them in my car this morning, and I apologize. I'll get each of you a card and later today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll get a picture here shortly and we'll go on break. That's right. Okay.
Mr. President?
Yes.
There may be others in the audience that
Oh,
may want to make comments.
Yes,
We want to
indeed,
give them the
please.
opportunity.
if anybody else would like to make a comment about the Heritage Days and the DAR, please come forward and we're glad to have you speak.
I'm Keith Amersley with the General Adam Stephen House.
Yes, sir.
And one of the new elements of the festival this year is the fair at the Roundhouse, which will have representatives from a lot of the historical associations in the county.
Okay.
And they will be having demonstrations and providing information to the public.
Keith, thank you for coming in and great, we'll get a few pictures here.
And I would like to thank Mr. Hammersley.
Asked to speak a little bit, which is not hard, as you know.
Good morning.
Good morning. The Shenandoah Valley chapter in SDAR will also be participating down at the Roundhouse. We will have displays about our history, which goes back quite a way, and we also will have activities for the young people as far as face painting, coloring sheets, and it's a time for you to come out and learn more about our Berkeley County. I have the honor to be able to say that my great-grandfather, 6 times removed, was here when all this happened. He was a captain for General George Washington. So, William Henshaw. And I think if some of you would look back through your ancestry, you might be able to be a SAR, which is Sons of the American Revolution, or a DAR, which is Daughters of the American Revolution. And we have with us children of the American Revolution. So it's going to be a wonderful time. There will be so much going on down at the Roundhouse. So please stop by. We are also part of 250. Now, you know what 250 is. The celebration of our United States, or our America. And so we will be talking about that and encouraging you to get ready to celebrate because it's coming. There's only about 4 more years, I think, before we celebrate America's 250. So,
Quick
look,
question.
3 more years, yeah.
3 more.
is it 3? I'm
70.
sorry.
26, right?
prepared.
26?
26, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Quick question. If I was to want to find out the heritage, my heritage trail, where would I start?
I would
The easiest way.
call me,
Call you? Okay.
and I would give you Hale. Oh, his name is Hale. Don Hale's
Okay.
address. He is the registrar
Okay.
for the Adam Stevens chapter of the SAR
Okay.
in our area, meaning Jefferson, Morgan. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Be neat to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
you, Barb. All righty. Next on the
Sure
agenda.
you want to learn about your.
Well, I'm hoping if there's anything that's of illegalities,
Well, I
that
was
the
wondering
statute of
about-
limitations would have expired on that. But anyway, thanks, Jim.
Just making sure.
Yeah. Yeah. See what I got going on up here. All righty. Elizabeth, you want to come on up? We'll get a little bit ahead of time here, and the grants administrator and approval to apply for West Virginia FY24 Court Securities Grant Program.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So West Virginia Court Security Fund fiscal year 2024, the potential funding source, West Virginia Court Security. It's for the Judicial Center. The duration is 12 months, July 1st to 2023 to June 30th, 2024. The total state request is going to be $176,402.28. There is no match, so 0. So the total project amount is $176,000, $176,402.28. So a required court security fund grant meeting was held on Tuesday, April 11th, 2023, with Mike Lang, Berkeley County Chief Court Marshal, Jack Lang, Berkeley County Facilities Director, Joe Kisner, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney, Berkeley County Prosecutor's Office, Shelley Shopper, Berkeley County Circuit Clerk, Chief Tom Young, Berkeley County Sheriff's Department, Lieutenant Matt Rapan, Quartermaster, SWAT Commander, Berkeley County Sheriff's Department, and then myself, and then Tracy Williams, Grants Administrator. The needs of the Judicial Center in regards to security for the building were discussed. This grant will pay for the following items if awarded. 36 Motorola APX 4000 radios with AES encryption and microphones for $154,558.98. 6 desktop charging stations for $3,183.30. 9 Bolo stick door barricade with installation, $1,485. 32 windows on the ground floor applied with reflective film for $17,175, for a total of $176,402.28.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the grant application for Court Securities Grant Program?
So moved.
Have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All
There's
those, I'm sorry.
There's a lot of grants for law enforcement.
Yeah, well, this one is for the Judicial Center for the
Yeah,
security.
I was
Yeah,
just lumping them all together.
yeah,
But, there's a lot of money out there.
there is.
Anything else for like environment or social issues or anything like that?
I don't know that answer right now, but I can certainly look into it.
Yeah,
So
much for one area, but, totally lacking in other programs.
Well, opioid abatement and public safety are the
Too hot
where
button.
the big pots
Yeah.
of money, and then as you know, there's a lot of money out there for infrastructure, if you're doing water and sewer and highways and things like that. Those seem to be the real big focus. This grant, we apply for annually, and as you can see, the committee, the size of the committee committee is actually mandated by the state. We have to have representatives of the sheriff's department and prosecuting attorney's office and everybody and their brother to even apply for the grant. So, last year, our grants department probably had the highest level of success we ever had with this grant. And this one is pretty intense too. So this is probably one of the biggest grants we've ever applied for through the court security fund. So, but our grants department's been pretty successful in bringing the money home.
Good. All that, yeah. I mean, without a doubt.
Yeah. We appreciate what you do.
Yeah.
I also have a resolution. Would you like me to read it, or
Well-
do they just sign it?
We'll take a vote right here on the first one, and then we'll get you to do the resolution. How's that? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. And now for the resolution.
Resolution authorizing execution of application for fiscal year 2024 West Virginia Court Security Fund Grant Program. Whereas the Berkeley County Council met in regular session on Thursday, May 4th, 2023, and whereas the Berkeley County Council acted to support the fiscal year 2024 West Virginia Court Security Fund Grant Program submittal to the West Virginia Division of Justice and Community Services, and whereas an invitation was sent out to all relevant parties on March 31st, 2023 to attend the required pre-application meeting, and whereas the meeting was held with all relevant judicial officers and stakeholders on April 11th, 2023 in the Berkeley County Judicial Center, and whereas the Berkeley County Council and Sheriff have committed to continue the use of significant and appropriate manpower to ensure that proper court security actions are undertaken at Berkeley County Judicial Center. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Berkeley County Council supports the submittal of an application for the fiscal year 2024 West Virginia Court Security Fund Grant Program and a continued commitment to court security. Adopted this 4th day of May.
Okay, you've heard the resolution. Do I have a motion to adopt?
Yes, sir. Motion to accept the resolution as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Oh, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. We'll get them signed up here for you. All righty, I think it's a little bit early, but we're gonna take a break here, get some pictures, and we'll reconvene here at 10:45. We're on break. Okay, we're back in session, and we have Mike Lang, Chief Court Marshal, update on Transportation Division.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
As you said, we're here for an update on transportation. John handed our reports out to you to give the Reader Digest version. You know, we started this in February 1st, 2023, and as of yesterday, we see our mileage is over 16,000 miles. If you look at the chart in the back, it's been 1,016 man-hours. Miles driven is 16,753. That equates to 5 trips coast to coast, 16,000 miles since February 1st. Corridor transports were 20. The arraignments and ERJ transports just from the arraignment room or setting in the arraignment room was 73. Mental hygienes were 20, and juvenile transports was 6. That's all numbers since February 1st. This program is doing exactly what and how it was designed to do. At times, it's a little overwhelming. I think 2 Fridays ago, we had 5 of my guys on the road and 1 deputy sheriff. We had 3 trips on one day. We've been in Tennessee. Almost flew to Missouri yesterday. We got out of that one. So that came about Friday, and I told him it wasn't enough time. There was too many. Mr. Davis has taught me well. There was too many questions. Who's paying for what and all that was through DHHR. So when I threw that question out, how we're doing this, how we're doing that, it's so Mr. Davis taught me well about that. Follow the dollar. It's going. We've had two hiccups. They left at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, head to Sharps. East Ridge made a phone call a half hour after they was on the road, saying they'd been diverted to Blue Ridge, or Blue Field. They were not notified until they got to Sharps. So they went from here to Sharps to Blue Field. So they had what would have been a 8-10 hour turnaround, they had a 15-16 hour turnaround. All because one phone call wasn't made. We have since corrected that. We had one where the phone didn't get answered one night. They were dead tired and he didn't hear it right. That's only 2 snafus we've had, correct? So I'm going to say this out loud. Don't be surprised if I'm here in six months or less asking to make this program bigger. It is a rock star. It's taken off. It's out of our control when they call. Most of them are.
What do you mean bigger?
More people do more transport. It's, I mean, 3 months, 16,000 miles, a lot of road time for 4 guys. The guys have, we talked about the vans. The guys like them Tahoes. As you see, they're bigger guys. They like the Tahoes. So when we get to the point where we're looking at that, I think we should give a serious look at Tahoe or a vehicle of that similar size.
Do you only haul one prisoner at a time or one person at a time?
It's designed to haul 2, but traditionally we've only hauled 1.
We had a couple where we've done some expeditions. We've had 2 people at the same time while back because they're separated, they're caged, they're separation. So the same time of money, they're at the same, coming back the same road. We've also had a couple in the arraignment room where we've been in it at the same time. So still 2 birds in one stone.
Most of those trips, man, shorter trips. You have 2 people, or are they long distance trips as well?
Yeah, they've been short trips. They're not.
Tennessee's been the furthest. A couple weeks ago.
But there weren't 2 people.
Yes.
Oh, there was.
Yeah, 2 people for every transport.
No.
No, 1. So smart.
Right.
One in custody.
So Tahoe versus van would be comparable because you won't really need van space to haul one person that far.
The only hitch in the giddy up would be wheelchair access. We haven't come upon that yet. It rarely happens, but it does happen. That's the only.
But you would know that in advance if they need to be in a wheelchair, correct?
Yes, sir. And they have, the sheriff's office has set up for transports for ambulance, one rides along and one follows. But that is historically very few and far between as we got into this and learning how it's all going. Gentlemen, ladies, I think it's a win-win. I think it's operating as designed. I think taking over for the deputies at Rayma rooms, a plus. You know, I have guys stationed throughout the courthouse so they're fluid if they're not on trip. So when a deputy pulls in, they can go and relieve. Working as designed, as we knew it would. You know, we put a lot of thought in this. This probably was in the works and talked about for the better part of the year to make sure we could do this. And, again, if I wasn't blessed with the staff I have, we couldn't do this. The staff I have are trained for this. That's what they did. So.
Like there's a minimal amount of money actually saved by this. However, it does keep our deputies in the county doing what they were hired to do.
Yes.
So
That
I would
was the
think
goal.
from a morale point of view, even for them, it should help them as well. Once again, taking some burden off of them that some may or may not really want to do. You know, they want to do police work.
Yes, sir. And another a good part of this is that deputy could have worked already 10 hours. And now they got hit with a trip if they can't find somebody to take over. So it's a little safer for the staff too, in my opinion.
And hopefully it'll help get the sheriff's department's overtime down.
Well, but I mean, 1,016 hours has been documented that you've been able to put a sworn deputy back out on the road. I think it's very valuable.
Yeah. You know, we never claimed it was going to save money.
That's correct.
We knew it was going to save time.
Right.
You keep the deputy on the road, what are you paying them? It's working. We get accolades from the sheriff's deputies all the time. They come in Rayma room and they're back out on the road within minutes.
Yeah.
We may sit there an hour or two, but they're back on the road.
So no regrets at this time? On your
None
part?
at all.
Okay, good.
I don't sleep very well when I know they're on the road 2 o'clock every morning.
Yeah.
But where'd you go this week? It snowed.
Oh,
Morgantown.
no, that was coming back from West.
West. Yeah, it snowed what, Monday?
Mm-hmm. Well, we wanted to try out on that route. It was 2 different routes. We wanted to see what they're on the route overlay.
I will not be here in 4 or 6 months when Mike comes back in and asks for more help. But I do want to say that in all the years that I've worked with Mike, he has never come to me or come before the council unless the need was absolutely there. So that when that time comes and he does come before you, and I'm sure he'll have it well documented, I certainly would encourage you to listen to what he has to say with an open mind. I know you will, but he's not going to come in here unless you really.
Appreciate that, sir. It's operating as designed. Sheriff and I had a meeting last week. Everybody's sticking with that.
Yeah, when you talk about like the van versus the Tahoe, I'm sure John would not be very comfortable in squeezed in that small compartment.
That's what we
Of a
discovered,
van.
and the road, and John has found out that 68 is very windy in certain spots, and that pushes the vehicle around. Sometimes.
Even with him in there?
Even with him, sir.
We look at smart cars.
Yeah.
I don't think that'd be too
Try to
smart.
save on fuel, but we ruled those out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and back to that same thing. Are these vehicles near time to upgrade, or are you saying like if you add more people on, you'd like to see the new vehicles to go to that, and you would still have the vans for a while plus the new vehicles?
Can I say all the above?
All the above.
They're pushing what, 90,000 or more.
One vehicle's probably pushing about 60. The other one's got over 70 somewhere, 70,000.
And we
I'm
typically
I was
replace
thinking
our
of the
transport
Mercedes.
vehicles every 2 to 4 years, depending on the mileage.
Okay.
We go through those a lot quicker than we would even a cruiser.
Right. And you don't want them to be broke down side of
No,
the road with a.
not in the middle of the night, no.
And that's when most of the unplanned trips are 2 o'clock in the morning.
But you would plan to at least keep like maybe one van on because of the handicap issue?
I would like to explore that possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to look at the cost of the Tahoe versus the van versus the transport fees. You know, if you did 3 times a year, is it really worth spending another $50,000? We have to do some research on that, in my opinion.
So you're saying the Tahoes are 50,000 more than the van?
I'm saying the van's probably 50,000 more than Tahoe.
Oh.
When we looked at the van, they were 120, 140
Yeah.
with a 2-year wait for a transport van. So
Is there a way to retrofit the Tahoe with a?
they are
chair?
now. With a handicap, I don't think so. I don't think you have enough height in the headroom to do that. I could be wrong. There is an expo in Charlottesville, like July. I think Chase is going to. And I'll probably go along with Chase. We'll look at them. See what's out there.
Or maybe something that is like a capped back that's climate controlled, maybe that could be wheelchair accessible, that has a bigger front seat, different than a van.
See what's out there. I would suspect the cost between the Tahoe and the van is significantly different.
Yeah, we were actually looking at like the Ford Transit vans, the ones that have the high roofs.
Thank you.
And have those properly fitted, we were looking at between 100, 110,000 per vehicle. And like Mike said, there was, anywhere from a, 24 to 36 month wait from the time you ordered them, so.
Right.
But only having 3 separate times where that was needed, certainly I would think would be cost prohibitive when we could.
My question would be, is
Put
there
them
a
in a-
place where you could rent a van for handicap if we only used it, sporadically? I mean, that would be worth looking into, to me, more so than purchasing one. And then it sits there most of the time.
The only problem don't be what if it was all hygiene, we would stand the canopy with home, so for instance, something like that.
Yeah.
EPTA does the medical assist runs, and
They do a lot.
the handicapped accessible. We might want to reach out to Elaine,
I can do that.
just to, they've always been quick to help us. Just might want to reach out to her and,
If one isn't necessitated, yeah.
yeah.
Because John and the guys have been talking, they like the Tahoe. We thought Sprinter van going into this. I got another guy big as John on this trip.
Talk to Elaine, she might.
Yeah, I will. I'll reach out to her.
Okay.
Sprinter would be nice, but it'd be like driving a barn down the road on a windy day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've been in vans,
Mhm.
they do not hold the road. Often don't really want that. Do not that. I just scared of that.
That's where we're at. I think accolades to everybody doing it. Accolades to the sheriff's office working with it. They're very proactive and we need. Marcia Kelly keeping all the receipts. We did get our first 2 reimbursements for the trips we did. Right, there's 2 of them, Penny, right? For us, for purposes of February 1st. So for the first time, I made the county a little bit of money. I'll spend it fast for you. But it's going well.
Well,
It's going well.
yeah.
We appreciate what you're doing.
I
I
think
appreciate y'all's support.
the cost is always going to be there no matter what. You're going to have transports, but we found a very efficient way to do it.
I would have to agree with that.
Okey dokey. Anything else, anybody?
Thank you.
Thank you all.
I was going to say, we started a model again that
We did.
somebody can most certainly
Yeah, tell them
copy
about
after.
Washington County. How they
Sure, go
changed
ahead.
Let's hear about it.
I sent Mr. Davis a job announcement that Washington County Courthouse put out through Washington County Sheriff's Office. Years, right when I was looking to retire from prison, I had my eyes on trying to get there. But you had to be certified law enforcement. they have now changed it to certified correction officer. Somebody's watching what we're doing. Watch what we're doing. They're fishing 3 of our guys right now, but I think the fence around our pond is just a little bit higher.
Very good.
I sent that to Mr. Davidson. Somebody's watching what we're doing. You all have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Uh-huh.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Davis.
Yes, sir. As the council is aware, back in March, Brian and his staff appeared before the council and presented the draft of the proposed 2023 stormwater ordinance, which had gone through a number of revisions, which had been approved by the various agencies before it came to you. At that time, you directed me to schedule the necessary public hearings to receive any constituency input regarding the proposed changes to the ordinance. That notification ran in the Martinsburg Journal. As was noted last week, we did have certification of publication that indicated that the legal notice had appeared on March 30th of 2023, which is Thursday. Last Thursday, we held 2 separate public hearings, one at 6 p.m. and the other one was at 11 a.m. in your chambers. And as you're aware, we received there was no public participation. And prior to that, we had not received any written or oral comments to the proposed ordinance. Accordingly, I have placed it on your agenda today for discussion and for you to take any action that you may choose.
Okay. What is the pleasure of our group? Is there any comments from the Stormwater Board? Mr. Keller?
If I may, the ordinance doesn't have the effective date on it. It'll be up to this body if it chooses to adopt this ordinance. So I think discussions before were starting it on July 1st. So if there was a motion, it would be to adopt it and start it
July 1st.
It becomes effective July 1st this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of give and take throughout the years over this ordinance, where different agencies have different responsibilities, and I'm hoping that through this joint permit that we've landed where all parties are represented and have the ability to do their job without another agency overpowering or overstepping what they thought that they should. So I'm hoping that with this particular ordinance that's been beat around and hammered out, and that we land on our feet and need to be where we are.
Okay.
And attending the stormwater meeting Tuesday this week, we specifically asked their board of directors if they were pleased with the ordinance as is, and they're all on board with what has been proposed. So
Okay.
I'm ready to make a motion that we adopt it
Alrighty, have a motion.
Effective date, when?
July 1st.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. And we're gonna have an executive session here, and I wanna go ahead. Will be any action taken, Mr. Davis, you think?
No. There will not be, but you have items from the public.
Yes.
as well.
I was didn't
No, there
know.
will be no, we're not recommending any action once we come out.
Okay. Then at this point, before we go into executive session, can I ask if there's any items from the public? If not, can I have a
Mr.
motion?
President, I move to go in executive session.
Okay. For,
For economic development, legal matters, and property matters.
What do you say?
Okay, we are in executive session.
I like to keep it technical.
Okay, we're out of executive session, no action to be taken, and since Mr. Barnhart is not here, Mr. Boyd, would you give us the honors to go to recess?
Make a motion to recess.
We are in recess. Thank you.
Good job.
I got it right that time.